Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday live show where we're going to just break down the entire market and see what's happening for this week, see what's going to be popping. And of course, we're going to look at crypto because that's rolling right back up. So we have an action-packed night. I kind of lessened the list a little bit just because I'm going through a bunch of them and I'm going to make a crazy list for this week. And I'm uploading all the videos. If you haven't seen my YouTube page, go to it because you can check it out and a lot of videos are uploading. I'll be uploading some more tonight, so you can see the live show as I do it, and I will be uploading them each day after the show. They take a little bit just to download and everything. So, I mean, not forever, but just a few. So it will be beneficial to listen to the show, and then you can check it out and see what I'm looking at and also learn from the charts. So there's a bunch of videos up and more are coming, and they'll just continue. So there you go. And I will put that options video up. I'm just trying to get these all uploaded, and YouTube seems to think I'm uploading too many videos, I guess, because it's slowed down and I'm waiting on that. So here we go. Let's rock and roll and go through this list and see what's going on a Sunday night. I hope everybody had a great weekend. The weekend just flies by. It's like Sunday night at 9 o'clock, like nothing. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And let's just rock and roll and check out our list here. GEVO. I don't know what's going on with it, but many people are asking about it on Stock Twits. And I'm just going to take a look at it. It's way at the top there. I mean, just kind of curling back up. I could see it running back up. Not sure what they have going on the 24th. Today is, so that was what, Thursday it was. Um, Oh, they just had their third quarter, which was nothing crazy. And the 17th, they had Gevo stock surges after clean jet fuel startup gets government loan commitment. So I'm not sure. It's a biofuel plant or something. So we'll have to take a look at this bad boy because a lot of people are asking about it and excited when I said I'd go over it. Their earnings are on the 7th, which are, let me look at the calendar here. What is it? Hold on one second. The 7th is next Thursday right there. So next Thursday or this Thursday it'll be. No, next Thursday is the 7th because this Thursday's Halloween. So next Thursday, which this week has a ton of earnings, all like the big caps and all them bad boys are the Mag 7. There's a ton of them happening this week. So we'll run through all that as well. But let's take a look at this GEVO because everyone's interested in it, and so am I now. So here we go. Let me click this ad off of here. And here we are, GEVO. Let me just look and see the what's going on here. Yeah, it's way at the top, but it's gonna run back up. You can clearly see it wants to curl back up there. Let me see what it did in the after hours on mine. And it looks like it wants to roll right off there as well. Not sure what's happening, but it does look like it wants to be a momentum play in the morning, guys. So take a look at that GEVO, Gevo Inc., a specialty chemical company, and it is looking pretty hot there. And it's run up literally since September 11th, and it just bounced off that support line right there and has just gone up continuously since. A little bit of pullback here and there, but nothing even close to pulling really back, just kind of making room and going and running up at that top. And like I said, it looks like it wants to roll up there a little more. And we will definitely take a look at it in the morning, but check it out early because this thing could be curling up and blasting off right there. And it looks like it'll hit that resistance right around 336. So we'll keep an eye on it. Check it out in the morning. GEVO seems to be popular. LWLG, Lightwave Logic. This one appears to be pulling back right there. Let me look at it on mine. LWLG. On mine, it looks like it was bouncing back off right there. I'm telling you, I've never seen so many different looks. And I just think that the charts are kind of changing around, transitioning here. So on stock charts, it looks like it's pulling back right there. And then on mine in the after hours, it closed at 360. And what did it say over here? 330. So it bounced up in the after hours and looked way better. So I'd have to keep an eye on this one as well. LWLG, because when you look at it on FinViz and stock charts, it's not looking so hot. It's coming down to the line, and mine, it's already rolling off and going back up. So keep an eye on that one as well. LWLG, Lightwave Logic Inc., because it looks like it wants to roll back off there and go higher. VCNX, couple new ones that some people asked about, so let's check them out. VCNX, Vaxinex, down a penny, up of 2 cents in the after hours. Has that weird look. 20's curling up for it, looking hot there. Has some good support underneath of it. VCNX. Let's take a look. Looks pretty decent there. And VCNX on my end looks good to go. Just a little flat on Friday, but looks another one. I mean, it has that resistance right there at $4, but looking pretty solid right there for VCNX. And just another one some people were asking about. So keep an eye on that as well. And NCI. Let's see it, because this one appeared that it was trying to curl back up on Friday. So I did notice it. It opened at 61. It got up to almost 70 cents, just under 70. And let's just see what it did in the after hours. I'm just looking at stock charts real quick. Curled, and that's the funny thing. It curled through going down, but it looked really good. I almost think this thing wants to have one of them real quick curl back ups and cross through real fast tomorrow and just kind of blast off of there on the 50. And like I said, it is, if you look at it, the MACD's cross down. Generally, that's a going down look. The 20's over, but it's in between that little channel right there of your 20 and 50. And I mean, if it's curling up tomorrow, you're going to know if it's bouncing off that 50. And this thing will just literally just boom right through that MACD going up and get cruising one more time. Now, it was up there on the 21st. It got up to $1.80, and then the next day on the 22nd, its high was $1.65, and then it's pulled back down. But like I said, in between that channel and not looking bad right there, NCI. So and that was one that we had looked at before, and obviously it ran up the other day, and we'll take a look at that in the morning because that's an interesting look. GNPX. That's that Genprex that ran way up. We were super early on this one. I mean, we had this one way at the bottom, and on FinViz, it appears just to be pulling back at the moment. And yeah, I would assume that GNPX is going to just pull back now. I'll look at it in the morning if it's trying to reverse, but it doesn't appear to. So we will see if that one wants to pull back some more. TOVX. This one was setting up really nice. I know we were looking at this the other day. Has that hard line in the 20. I would say this is going to try to blast off. And someone was saying it looked like GRI before that one ran. I'd have to see the chart reset up after it got to that top. So I'd have to look at it again before I know I'd have it on the video. That's what's great, the video. Now I have all these charts saved on video from that day. So I can always just go back and see what they look like. And because then they reset up and you don't always get that same look. So that's pretty cool. Because as I was going through them, I noticed some of them. I was like, oh, that's what it looked like on that day. So, because again, they'll change around. Then, you kind of remember, you kind of forget, but they do switch around. And then you don't really remember what it looked like 3 weeks ago, all the time. But anyway, TOVX looking great right there. So I would look for this to try to get moving in the morning. And it's been trying to run up a little bit here and there. But yeah, it's setting up really nice right there. So I would take a look at this and it can get moving up to that 277 and it's at 158. So take a look at TOVX in the morning. And I did just look at that GRI. And I was saying, somebody was saying it looked like that. It was similar to it before it ran up, and it recently ran up to October 21st. So it was at the top, and it appears that it's pulling down. Could get back down to the 54 area. I mean, could it bounce back up tomorrow? It could, but I'd have to look at it after the weekend, and that's GRI. And again, it's coming downward, so it's not something that we'd be attacking right now. It'd be look at it and see if it's going to set up. But I just wanted to see if that setup was similar, and you can't really tell, but I'll go back and look on the videos and be able to tell. So that's a beautiful thing. And LGVN, here we go with that because that one I know was starting to move. We were talking about it last week, saying how good it looked, and it started to move up. And I think this one's going to keep that momentum, and it has a lot of room in its way, so in its to run. So keep an eye on that LGVN because it looks like it wants to get cruising right there. It looks good on there, and on here it definitely looks good. So I'd say LGVN is looking solid right there. And that is Longverin Inc. or something. I don't even know what it is, but it's a biotech company, and I expect it to get moving. So keep your eye on that bad boy. Edible, this one was running up the other day. Which day did it run? Was it Friday, yesterday, yeah, yesterday. Friday it ran up to like almost 32 cents. It's at 21 again. It's still in the basement. But let's look at it because we kind of knew this one was running. And let's see. It could very well try to get moving again. The 20 was right there. And so we'll watch how it opens up tomorrow just to get an idea. Just because it did run up there and then it's over the weekend. So they're a little tough sometimes and I can't really get an exact look on it. So we will look at edible. On here, it looks good that it's still going to move. And on mine, it still looks pretty good that it wants to move. So I just want to kind of confirm that because it did, like I said, ran up from what 27, what was that? 27.2745 up to 0.3188. So it moved and it had 138 million in volume. So EDBL um did exactly what we thought it would do, but let's see if it can get moving again. And like I said, if it wasn't over the weekend, I'd try to take a stab at it, but it looks good on two of my charts, and we'll look at it in the morning. So let me just mark that one real quick. And APDN, this one was setting up really nice before. And I think that 20 is going to have to come down for it. I know it ran, what, the 21st? A bunch of them did run that day. But the 20's at 32 and a half, and we're sitting at just about 31. And it's just sitting on that bottom, cruising along the bottom there. So I would take a look at APDN to try to get set up this week. It's looking really good right there. It looks good on my chart too. So take a look at that bad boy, APDN. And we were looking at it as it's been setting up. And like I said, it ran up a little bit on the 21st, then the 22nd, and now it's getting set up there this week to try to make a better move. CETX. And this one we've been talking about probably just going to be pulling back a little bit. Even though it's curled through and it wants to run up, we did know we timed it out, kind of knew it was a little bit early, CETX. This one popped up like 2 days before it wanted to cross through and then it pulled back. And we usually time them out where it's like one day. But again, we've kind of noticed they've been pushed back a little bit more. So they jump up right before they're going to cross through and then they run through. If the 20's not there to hold it up, which this one isn't, the 20's all the way up at like $1.50 and this is down the 29 cent area. So if that's not there to hold it, these things just keep rolling. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's ready to run. And that is CETX. And I know people have been talking about like it was going through the roof and we timed it out. Again, it was like probably a day or so a little earlier than we're used to, but that is the new look. So we caught on to that last week. And yeah, so we kind of know that we know that look already, and we've been crushing all of them. So we're not worrying about that. AUUD, that one did pull back. It was looking great right there as it was trying to set up all last week. And then it pulled back there on Friday. And I think it might try to be a little dip and rip situation because it did look good. And generally, when they look good like that, they try to run. And we've been seeing the dip and ripping on mine. It does look like it's trying to get moving. So I would assume this bad boy is going to try to roll AUUD. So keep your eye on that this week and even tomorrow morning because it's pretty much right there set up and it did have that pullback. So maybe if it tries to pull back a little bit more, it's probably in the 58, 59 cent area, but I don't even think it's doing that. I think it's going to get rolling up now. So that's AUUD. And went. Let's look at that and see what it did. It was up 2 cents. It ran up a little bit higher. What did it get up to? It was like 84 and a half to 87. Might even ran up a little more in the pre-market. Let me see, 82 to 87. I thought it was a little more movement. So 82 to 87, and it is looking pretty good. It looks really good, honestly. Trying to curl up right there on the FinViz. Our 20 is right there at $1.05. This is at 86. I mean, it's not exactly right there, but it's close enough where it's not like really far away, and it's on the bottom set up. I expect this to try to roll this week. So I know it was looking good last week and ran up a little bit on the 21st, and it ran up a little bit on the 23rd. But even when they run up, they still come down lower than the day before, and we see it all the time. But this one is going to get that pop. And honestly, it could just get that pop right up to that dollar. Let me see where that 20's at. It is at $1.04 and we're at 84. So we could get that pop right up there with no problem where it's sitting. And then it'll really cruise because then the 50's all the way at like three something. So it could move. WINT, and we were looking at a little pullback. Again, could be a little dip and rip action. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And that is WINT. WDC, Western Digital Corp. This one did run up Friday. We were looking at it and it was set up and it opened at what, 72.59. It got up to 73.50. It's at 69.44 right now, but it did cross through and it still looks pretty solid to me. I have to see what this did in the after hours. Yeah, like kind of just pulled back a little bit. 72.89 to 75.85. Its low is 69 and it's going down. I'd have to look at this one in the morning. Let me put a little mark because I'd have to see it, but it did pop up there on Friday, so it did do what it's was supposed to do anyway, even with them red looks. So I kind of feel like it might pull back, but I'm not exactly sure. Again, over the weekend, it's kind of hard. They don't keep momentum and a lot of things happen. So we'll take a look at this one as well. TPET. This one was talked about last week by a few people asked about it, and I think it is setting up down here. I think on Thursday, it probably had its bottom down there at that 13 cents, the lower 13s. And on Friday, it wasn't that much higher off on that low. So, but it does look better, and it had almost 1.5 million in volume. I think this one tries to make that hard curl up, TPET. So, and actually in the after hours, did it run up? It did. It closed at about, it got up to 20 and it closed at 18. On here, it just says it's at 13. It looks good, and I would watch it in the morning to continue its way up, and that's TPET. So that was moving up, and maybe I did post it Friday afternoon. I don't even remember. So it feels like a century went by between Friday afternoon and right now. Holy cow. And the weekend goes by so fast. So it's crazy. But anyway, TPET, keep your eye on that one because it is cruising up there. And our 20 is up at 16 cents. So it got right over it. And the next stop is our 18 cent. Oh wow. It went right to the 50. So this thing could get wild. So keep an eye on this in the morning. Let me see that. Yeah, that one looks. I would think it's going to try to keep some momentum in the morning unless something crazy goes wrong, before it all opens up. So keep an eye on TPET in the morning. And we were looking at it last week. BJDX, that's at Blue Jay Diagnostics, and this one was looking good as well on Friday, trying to curl up. Our 20 is right above it now at 11, say 11 and a half, and this is at 10 and a half, and even got to 11 in the after hours. So I think the Blue Jay, I think we were just saying on Thursday, I wouldn't have been surprised if it tried to take off and fly. It's going to probably tomorrow. So it might have been a day off or so on that one. But BJDX, take a look at that because it's looking quite good right there. And I have a feeling you're going to get it right over that 11 and a half, and it's going to get cruising. So look at BJDX, and the 50 is at like 15 cents. It could get right through that as well. And then there's a lot of room there. So the Blue Jay could be flying in the morning. So just watch for that Blue Jay. IXHL. Let's look at that one because that was looking decent last week and it got up in the top and it looked like it wanted to curl back into the top and get rolling again. And then it just went flat, which was fine Friday. Let me just take a look at it on all three charts. Yeah, it just went flat right there. And again, it's not a big deal. You'd rather see it go flat right there than see it pull back. And I think it is going to try to push its way into the top and try to get moving a little higher this week. So we'll watch IXHL this week and tomorrow especially and see if it is trying to push its way up there. Because if it can get into the top right there, it can definitely move a little bit higher. So we will look for that IXHL, and that is that Australian drug manufacturer that I always thought was a China company. So, but it does look pretty decent. It did build that base right there. And I think it is going to try to get up there unless something crazy happens. FAMI FAMI. This one ran up the other day and then took a nice little dip. And it is pulling back. Let me see what it did in the after hours because this is one of them China stocks that just ran up. It looks like it's pulling back now. And what did it get up to the other day? It went from 40 to 53. And then the next day on Thursday, 38 to 48. And Friday, 43 to 44. And then came back down to 37. So FAMI probably had it to run and we'll see when it's pulling back if it's trying to go back up. But that one already ran and did its thing. CDT, that Conduit Pharmaceuticals, and that one ran up the other day as well. And it is kind of pulling back, but it doesn't look terrible. Let me look at it. Let me see the CDT. I have to look at this. It did pull back pretty good, but it's not that bad right there. Again, I have to look at that. The 20's under it, but trying to push down. So it could go either way. And that one I can't really tell on a weekend. If I was gonna say say it was a Thursday and it had that look, I would say look for a little bounce and then we'll see if it has the momentum to get through 12 cents again and it can get rolling, stair step its way back. But since it was a weekend, it's going to be a tough one to judge there. So we'd have to look at that in the morning. ITRM, if I can type it in. This one blasted off. Remember, I was talking, I just put it on the list for us, and it ran like a maniac the other day. What it opened at 119 and ran up to 232 on Friday and got up into the top right there. And I'd say that was a good add to the list. And another one ran up so much that it's kind of hard to tell if it's going to keep that momentum. I mean, it stopped at a good spot, 188. I mean, it's right there, but again, is it going to have another momentum day in there? It very well could and run up, and it's kind of off the chart, so it's hard to tell exactly. But yeah, I'm looking on mine. I can pull them down so I can see higher, and there's nothing up there. So you can't really tell on ITRM. If it's up running up in the morning, you know it's a momentum play, but just be careful because again, it's in the top and it stayed up there. So you don't know what it has in mind for tomorrow. CHRO Chromocell Pharmaceuticals was down 9 cents and it ran up the day before on Thursday from 79 to what 93. And now it's back to 67 and hitting that 20 again, pulling like kind of pulling down. I have to see this on all three because it's an interesting one to pull back that much like that. Let me just see CHRO. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, it's just coming right back to that line. I don't know if it's going to want to bounce off of there. I would have to assume it's going to want to because it was trying to run and then it just came down for no reason. It is a little bearish, I would say, but I mean that 20's in a good spot where it could curl up with no problem. So that's one we'd have to look at as well, CHRO, because if it wants to curl back up, it's got plenty of room to run. And it could have that one last run and kind of come back. Because like I said, it is bearish long term, but these things do pop up when they want to, when they need to, and the chart set up the right way. So I'll look at that. RIME, that came back like 2 cents. It looked great the other day. It was curling up and it ran on Thursday. Um, I don't remember Wednesday into Thursday, something like that, but it did pull back on Friday. And this one's probably going to be set up this week, I would imagine, because it was trying to get curled up there, ran up, and I would assume this week it'll catch the momentum there and kind of bounce because it's way down there. If it comes back a little bit more, it's hitting the bottom and bouncing up. I highly doubt this one's going back in the basement, and that's RIME. So we'll find the best price on that one as well. RIME because it can be it could be a really nice bounce play considering it's way down here and it tried to curl up and now it pulled back a hair. So RIME is one to keep an eye on. MSOS, just want to see what the cannabis industry is doing. And it looks like it's trying to bounce back up there off of that support line at like 153 area, say 155. So let me just see MSOS. And this is the ETF, the what is it? Advisor shares pure US cannabis ETF. And it's at 759. We were looking at it the other day, and yeah, it does look like it wants to try to run back up tomorrow. So keep an eye on that and the cannabis companies and see what's going on. And again, we were talking about the magic mushrooms the other day and all kinds of good stuff. So I'll keep an eye and see what's going on there. And that's MSOSHRYU. This was starting to move. We were talking about this the other day, and I said, watch for this to pop up in the perfect spot. And it should keep its momentum tomorrow, HRYU. So it did run what 20 cents to 25, and it's about to cross through. And this one could actually get moving, guys. And this is a South Korean internet company. And next stop is the 20 and the 50 are basically hitting each other and trying to curl up together. So it's like a double spring for it. And it is looking really good on mine, this one, and everything else. So HRYU. I am curious. What does it look like on stock charts? Yeah, going up. All right, that's what it looks like. So I would say it looks good there. HRYU S dot SDOT. So yeah, watch for HRYU to continue its way up right there. And SDOT was that split play, and that came back down Friday. We looked at it, knew it was going to run off the split. It got up to 375, and then actually it got up to $4 and then started to dip down. So that one's probably almost done SDOT, but I mean, I can see if it wants to bounce back up because it's hitting that line right there. Let me see what it did here. SDOT. Yeah, we'll see if it wants to play a bounce. If not, it's coming through and really falling off the face of the earth. And that's that SATIC group. And again, it ran up off the split and coming back down there. So that is SDOT. And we were looking at that and caught that off the pop. So there you go. And what is next? GDHG. Let's see. This is a China company, and this one never, I mean, it tried to run up, but then it split and it never really ran. It looked like that bottom was down there October 9th, and then it ran up a little bit, and now it's pulling back, and it almost looks like it's trying to get in the basement, or it could be a the dip and rip situation. So I know we've watched this one for a while, and it's a crazy one. To be honest with you, it does it may be just waiting for that 20 to come down, and the 20 is right there at 245. This is at 217, and it has the hard line right there at like 255. So they could both come down. This could actually run in the basement for a week or so, and both of them come down. And if that's the case, that's when we really want to look at this thing. So we'll just keep an eye on it just to see what it wants to do. And if that's what it wants to do, we'll know and we'll catch that on the pop because it'll be really nice. SYRS, one that ran up for us last week, got up to what, 269, and then it was pulling back here, hitting the 20. Let's just see if it wants to rebound this week. I was curious too. Um, Coming back down there, this one's interesting. It could roll right off. It's hitting that support at the 20, and then the 50 was just curling up hard on it. So, and it has that look. It's coming down on the on the MACD, but it's even mine, it kind of didn't come down as hard. It could roll off. I'll look at this one in the morning and see what it wants to do. SYRS. And like I said, if it rolls up, this thing's gonna fly because there's nothing in its way. It'll just gap right up there and run. And then obviously we already caught the first run, so we might catch a second one on this one, SYRS. I'll look at it in the morning and take a and let you know. WTO is down a penny, and this one just running that line. And this one's gonna get cruising this week. China stock and let's see. WTO. Not looking bad right there. Just running that basement line, but that 20 came down and it clearly wasn't bouncing off, but I think it's going to have to crawl back up. So some point at some point this week, I think that it starts to round back up, and that's when you're going to start to see the bounce off of this thing. So that's WTO, and that is what. Oh, if I could type it in this one, U time. And I just wanted to look at it on stock charts. Yeah, it's not looking bad there. Mine's actually like a really hard look to get. 43 to 46, down to 41 at 43, open to close, but it's just not a whole lot going on. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep my eye on this because if that 20 curls up, it's good. And like I said, this thing will pop off like a maniac. So that's WTO. And let's look at EJH down a penny. It did split, and that 20 is coming back down at 97. So we are at 91. Its high was what, 94? I'll look at this because it was pulling into the basement just a little bit there. It could pull its way out, but let me just see. Yeah, I'll have to look at EJH in the morning. It did. It just dipped into the basement just briefly. So, like I said, it's one of them situations where it could pull its way itself out, and the 20 isn't too far away, but it's at 97 cents. We could see it gap up 6 cents if it wanted to. And I'm not saying it looks like it tomorrow, but we'll keep an eye on it. And like I said, it doesn't look like it wants to at the moment, but we'll see what it wants to do. And that is EJH. And let's see what the yin and the yang were looking like, because the yin was up in the after hours. It was down a penny, then up in the after hours, but just looks like it doesn't want to go up yet. Let's just look at yeah, I want to look at the yin on mine. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't have that look like it's ready just yet. So let's take a look. And we know as they want to set up. So even if the yin's trying to set up, it'll pull back. And here's the yang. And the yang just kind of had a flat look there, but way more solid than the yin because you have your 20 coming down and another one. All you need to do is get it to start curling back up, and this thing could just start cruising and honestly get to that $6 and an area where the 50 is, and try to get through it. So I think the Yang's going to try to run up this week. It's been trying. I mean, it ran up what, Thursday and Friday. It wasn't too bad, but I think, like I said, that 20 all it has to do is make a little bit of a move, curl in the next Monday, Tuesday, next 2, 3 days, and this thing's cruising right around Halloween. So I think options all expire around then too. So it's odd looking at options and seeing how things pop up like that. It's like, wow, they just seem to want to pop and run at these certain times when these options expire and certain things are happening. So it is all a lot of patterns, but again, the yang looks like it does want to curl up, and obviously we'll look at that in the morning and see what they want to do. And MLGO, this was down 2 cents, and it was trying to run up last week, but yeah, it fell way down there underneath the 20. So the 20's back up here at 30 cents. This is at 23. Coming back down there. Let me see MLGO real quick. MLGO. Yeah, I'll take a look at this one and see if it wants to roll off, but I'm not exactly sure. And there we go at that list. I'll just keep on cruising. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And like I said, we're just getting ready for this week, and we are going to start nailing these bad boys. So let's just keep on cruising through and look at what we have with Penn, TENN. Because remember, I told you guys when it was down here, What day was that? It was at 1804 was its low, and I said it's going to get moving. It's at 1991, 1976 in the after hours, and it wants to get moving. So PENN looking really good right there. So keep your eye on that. VCIG, here we go with VCIG. That one is down to 8 cents. It was just pulling back to that bottom, but it almost had that and it was trying to curl up. It almost has that like I want to reverse. Now the 20 is up at 11, so it's not that bad. 11 and a half. And this one did pull back on Friday. It was looking much better. What did I just type in? I typed in MLGO and VCIG. VCIG. And wow, it's like literally part of the line. The two lines are just running straight together. Um, I would imagine this is bouncing off that bottom. It was trying to push through that MACD the other day. We'll have to see this one. I mean, it's bouncing off that bottom or getting in there, one or the other, and it's all right there. So I'm definitely looking at this in the morning, VCIG. And another one, if it wasn't the weekend, it would be a little bit easier. But with that weekend look, it's yeah, that one's a tough one right there. VCIG. Hold on, let me get this on the stock charts and just see if I see anything different. Nah, the lines are like just literally they're connected right there. You can't tell what it wants to do, and then it just comes down. It could just easily bounce off of anything. Um, I'll look at that definitely in the morning. VCIG, WBA. That's at Walgreens was down 8 cents. And let's see if this one, oh, it's going to curl through and go down, isn't it? I'm telling you, they're not in good shape. WBA, good old Walgreens crossing through and going down. Now we'll watch it because it'll set up one more time. I'm telling you. Um, at least I think it might. I might be wrong on that because it crossed out. I thought it was going to try to stop here. Maybe it'll build a base and pull back up and try to get that one last pop, but this company is just not in good shape. So, not something you want to be checking out for long term, but we were looking for that bounce, and I'll keep an eye on it for that bounce because that's all we want to play with that. NDRA, that was down 2 cents. It ran up last week pretty nice. And the only thing is the 20 was curling back up and the 50 was coming down and they could meet up and get nutty again. So that's why I kept it right there. And I'll look at NDRA again in the morning because it could be setting up for round two. So I'm not exactly sure with that look right there, but it could be. TRNR. Interactive strength. This one ran up the other day. That's right, the 22nd, and then just pulling back there. And I think this one's gonna just be pulling back at the moment, is what it looks like there. Let me see on mine. Until I look at mine and it bounced back up in the after hours 13 to 17. It's at 14. I'll have to look at this because it looks way better on mine. Um, I'm telling you, I get a ton of these looks now, way more than I ever used to, and I just think it's kind of, and it's not so much just the after hours. I think it's just the charts just kind of transitioning for the last 2 to 3 weeks. You can kind of see it. So that's TRNR. I'll take a look at that one. I marked that. Holo, HOLO, down 22 cents. Remember, we said it was going to keep on dipping. I'll let it keep on dipping, and we'll see when it hits that bottom there and then we'll try to run that bad boy back up as high as it'll go. So that is Holo, and let's be glad we weren't stuck in that at $1.20 because you'd have lost everything you've had involved in it. So that was HOLO. EVGO. This one did run up last week on the 22nd, a little bit on the 23rd, and even stayed there on the 24th and pulled back on Friday a little bit. And let's see if it wants to get cruising again. Easy, Geo. We were looking at it last week, saying it wanted to run, and it very well could pop back up this week. So we'll have to take a look at this one and see what it wants to do tomorrow. And UCAR, this one was looking great, ran up 41 cents. I mean, I told you guys back here when it was at its low, like 638, and now it's at 773 in the after hours and it's going up to that $8 area and running past that UCAR. So just keep an eye on it. But I told you guys when this thing was in its very beginning, and it's moving there. So you keep an eye on UCAR. It's looking good to keep on driving. And then Zoom cars, what's that? Was ZCAR? Zoom car ran up right after the split. We looked at that and had that nailed down. And then it pulled back on Friday. Yeah, that was Thursday. And then Friday it pulled back. We'll have to take a look at this bad boy because it did. It ran up and just dipped hard. So maybe it wants to set up and zoom up again, and we can catch that little popper. So I'll look at Z car in the morning, and U car is running up. And how about Tara? Remember I said she was going to be looking hot, and boom, up 26 cents, even more on Friday to 226 and closed and then got up to 227 in the after hours, but it did run up to 235, and it is looking like it wants to run up in the top tomorrow, TARA. So yeah, we nailed that one too, and I had even posted that one, Tara. So bam, there we go with that one, TARA. And let's look at SXTC real quick. China SXT Pharmaceuticals. And I think this one's setting up, guys. It's sitting right there. Where'd it go? It's sitting right there on the line. I have to see this. S SXTC. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is a nice roll off. Yeah, watch this thing in the morning, guys. I can't even say it. SXTC. Um, SXTC is looking great in the morning, guys. I'll tell you that right now. It just looks like it wants to bounce off of everything and roll up. So I'm just saying, if you see that bounce play, you know it's going, and that is SXTC. So keep your eye on that in the morning because that could be a nice bounce play and roll off and get moving. LSB, that Lakeshore Biopharma, we were watching this crawl up, caught the pop up. It did run up on Friday. What did it get to? Like 310. It opened that, got up to 370, maybe a little more in the pre-market. I don't really remember that 370, and it's still curling up, so you know it's going to be bouncing around, but honestly it could get running. It has a nice support or resistance at $4, and it could bounce up on there because your 20's coming down to it at 436, and it's curling up really nice. So it has some interesting looks to it. I have to keep my eye on this bad boy and see what it wants to do. Lakeshore Lakeshore Biopharma, LSB. So yeah, let me take a look at that in the morning and just see if that one really wants to. We know it's going to move. And you're probably like 1 day out, so that could have been a day out Friday, but I doubt it. That's probably your 2 day out, so that's why I want to look at it because they've been popping on 2 days out and pulling back, and we kind of know that new look. So I'll take a look at LSB, make sure that it wants to get rolling. This one looked good last week, SNOA, and it is set up, guys. This one should be blasting off in the morning. SNOA. Holy cow, does that look good? It was up what? 9 cents. It opened at three. Oh, it actually dropped, opened at 307. Well, what did it do in the after hours? Hold on. SNOA. 299. It opened at 290. It got up to 308 and it's at 299. That's what mine says. And mine says it wants to rock and roll, and so does Finviz. So this one's gonna get rolling in the morning, guys. So keep your eye on SNOA. And let's look at WBD. That is that Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, and I'm telling you, this thing's gonna get rolling this week. So it had that little run up last on Friday, 19 million, hitting that 20, and it is getting set up to roll. I don't know what they have going on, Warner Brothers, but they got something happening. And what is it? Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. So um I don't really see anything that happened that's very important. Excuse me, but WBD Warner Brothers looking really healthy right there. So that one's going to be going. LUXH, here we go. LUXH, that Lux Urban Hotels. It was looking good last week, and I know it ran up on the 23rd. And let's see if it's trying to get moving again. It's pulling back. I was just seeing if it wanted to bounce, and I'll just look at it real. I mean, on mine, it looks so good. That's why I brought it back up. I have to look at this thing in the morning, guys. I was looking at it on Friday and I just couldn't get a good look at it. Just to tell what the heck it wants to do. It looks like it wants to bounce off and go up. That 20's right there at like 6 cents. It's at like five. And I don't know, for some reason, it just looks like it wants to get some bounce play. So well, just keep your eye on it and you see it moving, you'd probably have to figure that it's doing that little bounce. So, and it could get cruising if it wants to bounce. So LUXH, we'll look at it and see what it wants to do. Our good old friend Maxon's been running up just like we wanted it to. And I said it was going to be curling off of there. It ran up Friday perfectly, opened at 526, got up to 590. It's at 575, and it's looking pretty good. MAXN. Yeah, 530 to 590, and I'd expect MAXN to run up higher right there, and it could get up to that 20 at 656. So keep your eye on Max in the run up tomorrow because that looks like it wants to continue. And let's just see real fast. Look at the ABVE because this one was moving last Friday just on Q when we said it was going to, and it is looking great. And we were looking at this one as well, ABVE. Come on, let's go. Here we go. And I would expect this to keep moving too. So keep your eye on ABVE to keep on cruising up. And I mean, we were looking at it, and I was even saying, this is the one that gave us the look. Well, guess what? It just popped off that 20 finally. So how long have we been looking at this look for? And this thing was supposed to run for like 3 months before that, it felt like. As a matter of fact, I know this chart so well. Let me just tell you real quick. Um, I can tell you back in August, it was then, and I can tell you we were looking at this thing. We had to have been looking at it in the middle of July. Um, yeah, had to have because it kept looking decent, and I'm gonna say even at the beginning of July because this thing had driven me nuts. But I'll say in the middle of July, and then all of August and September, and yeah, it finally is about to get rolling. It finally popped off that 20 on Friday, so should continue to 50s at 68 cents. It's at 60, yeah, 68, 69, and it's at 60 and looking decent. And that's ABVE. And that one we finally got to look right on, and all these other guys too. So silo farming, I think it's all about to change again, but we'll be on top of it now because I think it's actually going to go back to normal. So silo pharma, here we go. SILO is looking great on Friday. So let's just say that silo. I know we looked at it. Mine it says it's pulling back Thursday. It looked great to keep going, and it did get 120. It came down on 114. It closed at 117. Like I said, just two completely different looks here. So it looked good. I know it looked good on Friday. I have to look at it again. The FinViz and stock charts look great. Mine's coming down, and I'm not going to say it can't roll off, but it looked way better on Friday. I know that, so I'm definitely going to take a look at this one because I'm not sure what's going on. And again, it's just another example. These charts are just flip-flopping, and I'm just kind of getting used to it the last few weeks and just assuming that that's what's going on. So we're just rolling with that like usual. And I'll look at it tomorrow. I'll probably have a better idea, but I wish I could just kind of tell. SVMH. Let's see, we were looking at it last week and it was getting right there. That's why I left it on. It tried to run up there on the 23rd, and I didn't feel like that was all it had. So let's see. It's underneath the 20 is what, at seven, just like it's almost right there. Let's put it that way. So I kind of feel like this one, and it's not a guarantee, but it just yeah, whoa, yeah. This one in the after hours looks way better though. On mine, it opened at 8, it stayed at 8, and it got down to 7, but it closed at 8 and looks way better. So it was looking good on Friday. It has that little pullback look, but not too bad on here. And I would definitely take a look at this one. It looks way better on mine. SVMH, that one should be trying to move tomorrow. OCGN, and again, it depends on market conditions when over a weekend, but if it's mostly trying to move in green, it'll definitely be they'll be cruising because they're set up and looking good. That OCGN was looking much better at the end of the day, and like I said the other day, it was starting to set up, and I think Thursday was its bottom at 89. It's back to 94, and here we go. And again, it was just another one that caught my eye that I'm familiar with, and I think it's going to get rolling tomorrow. So I was probably a day early on it, and so yeah, I'm getting pretty much on that point with the timing. And like I said, you got to look for that dip and rip in that bottom, but they start catching my eye, and I can just kind of tell when they're ready to rock and roll at this point. And we've been doing with a ton of them, ITRM and this one, two of them that these weren't even on the scanners. Um, I just happen to see them because I know them, and I just see a lot of different things. And when I'd seen the stock tickers, I was like, oh, I know them. And as soon as I looked at it, I was like, wow, that one's gonna pop. And I looked at this, and I was like, this one's setting up. So I knew ITRM was about to roll, and I didn't realize that they had something getting approved. Obviously, I don't look at the news. What was it? I forget. What did they have? FDA approval. I couldn't even think of the word. US FDA approval of, I'm not even gonna try to say that, but it was some kind of oral something for the treatment of uncomplicated urinary tract infection. So it did fly up there, ITRM. And again, I just happened to see it, and just looked at the chart for a brief second and just was like, well, I'll put that on the list because it's about to pop, and bam. So there was just another one, just like OCGN. And there's been a lot of them. So ELAB was moving. We were looking at this, and it rolled up there on Friday. It got opened at like 16. I thought it went a little higher. Let me look at mine because I think it did. Yeah, 10 to 20 on mine. I was gonna say, I remember in the pre-market, this bad boy. Oh, okay, ABVE. I wasn't even paying attention to any messages if anyone posted anything else. I just been in my own world over here. I just noticed Laptop Travel just posted that, and I just caught my eye. But he said we started looking at ABV on July 31st. So there you go. What I say, the middle of July. I was close enough, I would say. But yeah, I could just tell by looking at the chart on it. Oh, let me go back because I'm interested now where it was at on the July 31st right there. So it was the very end of July. But yeah, it looked like right around here to me, like July 16th to 17th. It looked familiar. But the 31st was pretty close. I mean, it had pulled back a little bit. It was at its low as 116, and its high was 134 back then. So, and it used to drive me insane because it was really set up right there, and it looked great. But now I look back and see why it only had a couple spikes and just kept on going down, 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 and now it's going to run up. So we know the look, we know the pattern, and we got it down pat, and there we go. We're cruising with everything. I mean, we've just been ripping and rolling through these bad boys. So, and that was that ABVE, and then ELAB was looking. I forget what I even said about it that fast. ELAB. Hold on. Oh yeah, it ran up on Friday. It's hard to tell. That's what I was going to say about it. Yeah, it looks decent after that run up, but it's hard to tell because it ran up and kind of pulled back there. So I'd have to look at that in the morning. Clearly, if it's running up, it's a momentum play. LILM, this is an aerospace and defense in Germany. I remember when we went through the aerospace and defenses, I added this on the list on accident. And we just and then we picked a couple other countries, if you remember, and this was one of them. And for whatever reason, this thing took a massive dip the last Thursday and Friday. It's way down there. I just happened to see it. I don't know if I saw it on the scanner, where the heck I even saw it at, but it was just jumped out at me, and I said, "Well, that's the kind that we love." So we're gonna keep our eye on this bad boy, and it's down there where it could start to try to bounce. So I'm gonna look at it in the morning, but it is way, way down there. So that's going to be a nice bottom play right there, LILM. And then INDO, these were a couple that people wanted to add, and that one looks great. That's an oil and gas in Indonesia, and looks like it's about to curl through and blast off. INDO. it would have ran up 432 to well, it ran up 432 to 732. It's at 633. Back here it's at 457. So that's why it looked so good and it was going to blast off because it did it in the after hours. So we'll have to look and see if that one just keeps its momentum, but it did blast off. It looked damn good to do it too. So there you go. It did it in the after hours before I even looked at my chart. So there you go. INDO is moving, but again, if it's moving up, you know it's momentum and it's going to continue up. And just hard to tell over the weekend. AKTS, this one kind of bottomed out there. It tried to get rolling a couple times and it couldn't do it. So let's see. That 20's curled down at 7. It's at almost 6 cents. I have to see this. AKTS. I mean, it's not exactly looking perfect yet. Hold on. That don't look too bad. It almost like it looks like it wants to try to bounce, but then it doesn't look like it wants to try to bounce. I have to look at AKTS in the morning. It's like giving me a mixed review by just looking at it right now. And now if I look at it even longer, it's going to kind of be like I have no idea. So I I like to look at them quick, and though it looks like it has a quick bounce in it, but it looks like it wants to pull back a hair. I have to look at that in the morning. I think the momentum or the market conditions will kind of rule what that one's doing right there. AKTS and LGHL Lion Group. That one's just kind of pulling back, but it was rolling. I know it rolled up last week. It ran like that line from like 23 to 41. It went nutty, and it's back at 20 cents. So clearly these things run fast and you got to be moving and hitting that sell button. We all know that. And let's just see it. It has the potential to roll off again. I'll tell you that. It looks like it wants to on mine in the after hours. And it does look good on the stock charts. Looks pretty solid on the Finviz to try to do it as well. So I think LGHL tries to get rolled off and run up again. Will it run as high as it did? That I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see how it rolls off tomorrow, and we'll probably be able to tell there. So that's LGHL. Let me just roll through this last list real quick. I'll hit the messages and then we'll hit the big caps and all and crypto and all, which is looking great. And boom. So here we go. I'll rock and roll through this. Actually, these are laptop travels, I believe. Yeah, ADN. And you know these are all going to be set up. I actually didn't look at them today, but I already know most of these because we looked at some of them and they are set up. This one, ADN, running up Thursday and Friday, looking great. And they might not pop 100%. Some of them will, but most of these are going to run up for you. So keep a look at this list and we'll run through it real quick. And most of them you're going to get momentum plays on. So ADN looks like it's going to run the 50s at 231 and you're at like 193 right now. So you can just take your notes and like I said, look at them. Obviously, no one wants to trade them all, but if you're looking for a little momentum play or something that wants to run, these are going to want to do it as well because and a lot of times we do see 100%ers off these lists quite often that laptop travel uh puts in. So ALBT, that Avalon Globo Care. This one ran up a few times last week, and again, we were looking at this bad boy, and I honestly think it's still setting up for like 3 weeks down the road, and still looks like it wants to run up. And I have no idea what they have going on, but it looks great. I mean, even in the after hours on mine, it looks solid. So ALBT, another one. Just keep your eye on it because it's gonna. And this one's could be a great trading one for like a month or two. Like I said, it looks like it's setting up for like 3 weeks down the road, and then wants to pop and run. So you keep your eye on ALBT. It's gonna be a good one. APTO. Let me take a look at this one. I don't really remember it, but it looks decent. The 20's coming through it. APTO. Yeah, I mean, it's just trying to roll off a little healthy pullback there Friday. Nothing really crazy, just in between that channel. And I would say that's going to continue. Oh, wait, ALBT is going to reverse split on Monday. So, oh, that's why it's looking so good there. Oh, that's a beauty. Thank you, Laptop Travel. ALBT is going to reverse split on Monday. So there we go. Let me look at it. ALBT. And that's at Avalon Globo Care. So yeah, if they're gonna split 1 for 15, so well yeah, that one's gonna get should get good, guys. So wait for that one. We're clearly gonna be taking a look at that. And Scott, going back to LUXH, he said that he thinks there's an offering on that one. So we'll have to look into that LUXH because what was I saying? I was gonna look at it. Yeah, it's like just pulling back a little bit, but you can't tell if it's going to bounce or not. And actually, let's see, they had a earnings call on the 26th. Earnings. I didn't see anything. Yeah, I just don't see anything here, but that doesn't mean nothing's happening. So Scott is saying that there could be an offering, and I don't doubt it. So there you go with that bad boy. And here we go. I'm just going to roll through the rest of Laptop Travels, and I'll roll through everybody else's real quick, and then we'll hit all the big ones too and crypto. So that was APTO we just did. And like I said, that just had a little healthy pullback. It looked like nothing crazy. And it looks like it's going to try to continue to roll up there, I would say. CGBS, Crown LNG Holdings, and this one was trying to run up the other day, and this one's just the 20's curling up. This one's going to be rolling this week. You're going to remember this stock ticker, I think, this week because it's going to have one of them pops on it. L CGBS. Keep your eye on it because it looks like it wants to try to get cruising. So we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. CLDI. Let's see what that's up to. CLDI. Oh, this one's trying to bounce hard. It did start to on Friday, and I think you're going to keep that momentum going. So keep your eye on that one in the morning. CLDI, that one's looking solid as well. Um, Cality, Biotherapeutics or something, but yeah, that one looks really good. What is they had something on Friday. I just happened to scroll down, and Nexalin Technology and Cality Biotherapeutics interviews to air on the Red Chip Small Stocks Big Money Show. Oh, it's just some show. I thought it was actually like important news. That was nothing. CLDI though, looking pretty decent. It's bouncing off of there, so I'm not sure what they have going on. Thought I was going to tell you something, but I didn't. COT, I remember looking at this. This is that Australian oil seeds. This one ran up the other day. It had like a little dip and rip situation. And let's see, because it's just stair stepping up there. And now it's getting in between that channel. So look for it once it gets over that 86 cent area, and it pulled back to 81, but it gets back up to that even say, yeah, 86. It's going to pop off there. That's COOT. So we'll keep an eye on that. And again, it's right there on that 20. So it does want to get up to that 86. And once it gets over to 50, that's when it's going to want to run. DRMA, let's see. Oh man, look at this one in the morning, guys, because that one's going to be popping right there. That one's going to be some drama, I would say. DRMA is going to be looking good. What is it? Dermata Therapeutics. It's just set up really nice. Let me see what it did in the after hours if it already didn't run. Um, at 150 there and at 150 there and looking really solid, guys. So Coot's going to have a reversal, so we'll look at that as well. Well, that'll be nice because when they're set up and then they reverse, oh man, it's unless you're saying they're going to have a hold on, you're saying they're going to have a reverse split or a reversal that it's coming down. I'm not sure, but I don't see anything on there, but we'll figure that one out. So, but yeah, it's just this one, like I said, it has to get COOT has to get over that 86, and we'll figure out what's going on with it. But DRMA is one to look at because that one looks really good right now. And I have a feeling that one's going to get rolling. It looks solid right there. So keep an eye on that. FRSX. Foresight Anonymous. This kind of ran up Friday and looks kind of crazy, actually. Let me look at it. FRSX. Yeah, it just like ran up at to 80, closed at 66. I'm not so sure about this. It did have a big run up. Uh, Oh yeah, Coup has a reversal of the curve upward. Yeah, I think that that one wants to run up a little bit. I didn't know if you were saying that it was yup, yeah, upward. Yeah, I would agree that COOT, like I said, it gets over that 86 cents. It wants to run, and that's that oil seed one. FRSX ran up Friday. I'd have to take a look at this. It almost looks like it wants to pull back. Not exactly sure, but it did run up on Friday. Gift. We were looking at this because I remember saying this could be a real nice gift, and it started to run up, and I'm telling you, this one looks great. So again, I'll tell you again, this one could be a really nice gift. It ran 161 to 184 on Friday. It's at 172 in the after hours and looking pretty solid. Your 50's up at like 250. So take a look at GIFT, INBS. Intelligent Biosolutions, up 12 cent. We'll take a look at this one too, guys. This one's going to get rocking and rolling. As soon as it jumps up to that 160, INBS is going to get rolling. I'll take a look at that thing. And that's where you want to look at it at. One, like I said, it just kind of had a little pullback on Friday. I don't think it's going to be getting pulled back any more than that. So watch for INBS. That's looking really good. I noticed INKT was looking good. Yeah, gift's going to be a gift for your wallet, guys. I'm telling you. That one's looking great. And INKT, that Mink Therapeutics. I remember we were looking at this last week and it's just setting up pull back. It was just making a base there. And INKT. Yeah, keep an eye on this. I have a feeling this is going to get rolling. It's going to start trying to trade between that 70 and then start pushing up to that 75 and then get crawled up and moving. So INKT, we'll watch that. IVDA. This one, oh, this one's curling up really nice on Friday. We'll have to look at it just because of the weekend, but wow, that one looks good. Like it wants to start moving. Could be a little flat tomorrow. We have to take a look at it again after the weekend, but it's right there. So we'll definitely be watching that. JZXN. I know that's a China auto truck dealership one. We looked at it before, and ooh, this one's about to roll off too and get crazy. Keep your eye on that bad boy, that JZXN. That one's running tomorrow, guys. You can assure yourself if you want to see that, look at that because that's going to be moving. JZXN and KITT up 3 cents. I know we were looking at it. It's that aerospace and defense. We were saying it was getting set up. It does kind of look like Thursday could have been its bottom at 127. It got down to 133 on Friday. It looks pretty good to start rolling up. I'll have to look at it in the morning, but KITT could definitely be one that's getting set up there. And I know we were looking at that recently and when we were going through all the aerospace and defense and stuff, and we can definitely do that again soon. LDTC is looking really good. That 20's coming down for it. It ran up just a little bit, but LDTC is getting set up. I wonder what the volume is on this. It looks low. 70,000. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You guys can see with that chocolate one. I don't even think I added that to the list, that chocolate one. I have to look at it. Hold on. But that one keeps running up. What was it? RM something Rocky something. I can't even RMCF. I see it. Yeah, it ran up on Friday, remember? And I told you guys this one had like zero volume, and now it got up to what, 350 Friday, right around there. And I mean, we were looking at it when it was down at like 196. So that's a pretty damn good jump on one that didn't have any kind of volume. And then it ended up getting like 215,000 on Friday, had 446, but and then 388,000 and on the 22nd it had 8,000. So I'm telling you, we knew this thing was popping and had no volume, had nothing to it, and boom. So there you go at Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. And obviously that one's probably going to be coming back down, but I told you they were going to have some good chocolate, and it did. It had amazing chocolate on that run. So there you go with that guy. LDTC, Letter Tech. This one's crawling up right there. Let me see this one. That one's definitely trying to get good. LDTC. Did we just look? Yeah, we just looked at it. That's why. I MDJH. But yeah, that one's looking great. LDTC, look at that one, looking really good. That's because I didn't mark it going up, but there you go. MDJH, let's see that. Oh man, that one's about to get cruising too, and that one was at the 50 at like 79. MDJH. Can't even, oh, you still can't type it in. There we go. Holy cow. You guys can watch this when I upload it. You'll be like, this guy can't even type. Actually looking at a stock chart. I don't know. Certain letter combinations just kill me still. But MDJH looks great on my chart. I tell you that. And this, I'd have to say that's going up tomorrow. That looks great. I'm telling you, this laptop travel, he's got his scanner on the money. So talking about on the money, here you go. MNY, Money Hero. Let's look at it. And it's curling up and about to be the money hero. I think I said that last week. And yeah, MNY just I mean it is looking solid. It had a at 111. It closed like a penny lower. It was like 111 to 109, running around that on Friday, but just getting ready for this week, I would say. He wants to be a money hero. So MNY looking real good right there. NCL. That is not the other one, NC Net Capital, whatever that is. I thought it was when I was writing it down, but it's definitely not. It's Northand Corp, furnishing fixtures and appliances. But it looks like it was just kind of pulling back, making a base there. I bet this bad boy is Laptop Travel said, "Woo, baby, that's money for that last one, the money one, because Money Hero, I'm telling you, it's looking really good, guys. This NCL, I think, has to just get set back up. It was running up, but I think when the 20 and the 50 reach each other, it'll be ready, NCL. Although I'm let me look at mine before I talk, huh? Because on mine, it just like started running up. What, 17 and 19 and sticking at that 19. Where's it at here? 18 and a half. Yeah, see, this isn't giving me the after hour look right there. According to mine, it's ready to run tomorrow, but I was going to say just give it a day, but maybe you don't need to. So NCL probably looking better in the after hours because it does. Envy on mine, it looks way better. NVNI, that's sitting right there. I'd expect this to start curling up. Wow. NVNI right there. Yeah. It just like 72. Got down to 68 Friday, closed at 72, but looking really good right there. Probably 2000 in volume. Here's another one that's gonna run for you at like no volume. So NVNI set up the run. That's what Laptop Travel said. Yeah, it's gonna just pop up there on 8,000 in or 2000 in volume, I mean. So again, the volume is not always everything, and you can catch a good opportunity on any of these. So if you trade them smart, it doesn't matter if you're trading Tesla. If you're not trading it smart, it doesn't matter if it runs up from 212 to 280 or 260, whatever. If you're not locking in profits and it comes down, you're screwed. It's the same thing with these pennies and every other stock. So SGLY, this one was just a little pulled back, but trying to curl up there. I'd assume that it's going to get curled up this week. SGLY. And but like I said, just kind of pulling back a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that one. And USIO, I remember we looked at this last week. It was sitting at that support line. Yeah, this one's going to get cruising this week. USIO. USIO Inc. Just a little bit of pullback and flat, but it's getting set up right there for this week. It's going to be looking much better. And VRAR Glimpse Group, and that's up a penny. And let's just see what is going on right here. Because it looks like it's trying to crawl right back up. Let me see VRAR. Yeah, that looks like it wants to try to run up. It tried to Thursday. It went 77 and then came down to 70 and closed down. And then Friday, 73 to 77 and back down to 69 and closed at 72. It's just trying to get moving here. So watch this bad boy, VRAR. It's called Glimpse Group, and it's going to give you a glimpse of a popper right now. So it's getting right there where it's trying to do it. So keep an eye on that. And let me go through the list real quick or the messages and see what you guys want to see. And there you go. So a lot of great setups right there and a ton looking good. And let's just take a quick look and see what's happening right here. So here we go. Let me just see VR, AR. Um, boom, here you go. I have I'll post a couple of the charts real quick for these guys from Laptop Travel. USIO and NVNI. That one's set up to run. You can see that one. I'm telling you, MNY looking really good. There's the chart. And KITT is an underwater anonymous robotic submarine for oil rig inspections. When oil comes back, that will soar. Yeah, that one is definitely setting up, and it's considered an aerospace and defense for whatever reason. But GIFT looking great. Coot going to try to run right there. So take a look at that bad boy. And whoop. And there you go with them. I'm just going down the messages. So I'm just reposting. I'm telling you, I have the worst time hitting these buttons. LUXH selling 24 million shares as an offering. There you go. Um, yeah, I'd say if they're selling 24 million shares, they're doing some kind of offer there. That's for sure. So if that's LUXH, we'll keep an eye on it. And let's see real quick. Boom. Hold on one second. We'll get back to Scott. I know he just posted some OKLO for Jennifer Lee. Let's see this one. This one did run up last week, and actually, it wanted to run back up on Friday. Let's just say that OKLO. And if it was like a Thursday and we were going into Friday, I would say it's going to run up tomorrow. But just because it was the weekend and it had already ran up there, it's hard to tell, but it looks like it wants to continue that momentum, Jennifer Lee. So if you're looking at it in the morning and it's remotely moving up, it's going to crawl up for you and get back into the top and probably run. You just have to watch because it's just under that top line. So if it starts curling up and hits that top line and pulls back, it's the only thing you don't want to see on that. And that's why I'm saying over the weekend, you got to just be a little questionable about it because it has run up. So you got to just be careful and make sure it definitely wants to get back into that top area. And then you'll definitely get a momentum run back out of OKLO. So that's what you would have to look at for that bad boy. And let me just take a quick look. Oh yeah, the Mag Sevens that are reporting the earnings this week are Apple, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Google, and so there you go. That's just about most of them right there. What? One, two, three, four, five out of the seven. Tesla just did it last week. We know that. And who was the only one that's not? Meta, Amazon, can't even think. Google. Who we missing? Nvidia. They're not doing it, I guess. So we'll check and see when Nvidia is. But there you go with that. Zcar and JTAI. Well, we did Zcar. I'll look at JTAI. That one was trying to set up or did ran up last week. I kind of forget. Didn't it run up a little bit and then pulled back? Yeah, it ran up the other day and then it pulled back and it was looking really good on that setup right there on the 22nd. But it pulled back the 23rd and just went right back down. So it should hit that bottom. I don't think it's going to get into the basement. Let me see what it did in the after hours. JTAI. Yeah, I think you're going to get a roll off on that bad boy, JTAI. So we'll keep a look at that. I know we got all them guys up there. So let me see what else we have going on here. And the nuclear sector's been, yeah, they've been just like crazy. And that's OKLO, that NNE. They've all been cruising up and then they tried to pull back a little bit, but they still want to go higher. So NNE was running up and again crossing down. That one may try to crawl back up. We'd have to look at that. SMR. That was like cruising up there, trying to get back into the top. Not exactly sure if it will. And LTBR, and again, these things are depending on market conditions because LTBR definitely looks like it wants to, that light bridge. But again, if that thing hits that top line right there and bounces down, it's coming down. So that's the only thing you have to look at with these, especially over the weekend when they ran up. and CCJ was just kind of flat. It could go either way. It looks like it wants to pull back at the moment, but they all ran up pretty high, so they were all like hitting their highs and getting crazy. So and that was the nuclear guys and the uraniums and all them bad boys. So there you go with them. And boom. Let's see real quick. I thought I just saw Scott, AKTS, LGHL, and VCI. Yup, I think we definitely covered all three of them bad boys, but I'll tell you real quick because I know we covered them. I remember AKTS was pulling back there but trying to get set up this week, so I'll just tell you real fast. LGHL, that was the Lion, and it was we don't not sure if the Lion's trying to roll off after that big pop up the other day. It looks like it could be trying to on mine, but we're gonna keep an eye on that in the morning. But at the moment it looked like it on Friday, so that was looking like it wanted to roll back off and try to move. And VCIG was pulling back there on Friday, and it's just this was the one that was just riding the line. I was wondering which one. Yeah, this one. I mean, the lines are connected on here, Scott, VCIG. So your MACD lines are literally touching each other, running flat. So coming out of a weekend, I have no idea. You picked the three that are like the hardest three to really tell. There's a lot of them over the weekend on Sunday night. Some of them you can really just tell, but some of them you just can't really at all. And it's more or less a guess, or I can look at them in the morning and tell you much better. So I'll definitely look at them for you. As a matter of fact, let me jot them down up here so I remember which ones they were. AKTS, and the Lion is LGHL, and then I know VCIG. So there you go. I'll look at them for you, Scott, and we can run through them in the morning and tell you what they're doing. Licho, something. How are you this evening? Oh, IONQ. Where the hell's the Q? There it is. I was hitting the tab button. Oh my goodness, this one's just been running up like nonstop. So I remember we looked at it and I didn't realize it was still running up there. Holy cow. Another one over the weekend. If it's moving in the morning, you got a momentum play. Just be careful. It's so far at the top. You just have no idea how far it wants to run up before it can pull back there. Let's show something. So just be just beware and just be very careful right there. And again, if it's moving up in the morning, quick momentum play for you. So there you go with that one. And let's see what else. I gotta hit the mag sevens and all them bad boys real quick. Let's do that. Let me just look at that. URNM. I think I had just pulled it up and went right off it. That one's they're pulling back. So I guess the uranium ones are kind of pulling back. That's the Sprott Uranium Miners ETF. And yeah, they were all at the top and ran like crazy. So we'll find the next sector that wants to roll off of there and get cruising. And that's pretty much most of the messages I think I got. And let's cruise through, see what crypto's doing. Let me look on my app real quick. And I know Bitcoin was trying to get back to 68,000. It's at 67,670 something. And it actually crawled through coming down, but they look like they want to make that hard curl up. And I think I probably said that last week. They were either gonna roll off, which I didn't think they were, and if they curled through, they'd probably make that quick curl back up. That's what they look like they want to do. Ethereum's almost back at 2,500. It's only a couple dollars under it. And it did. It made a nice base. It had curled down. I remember this one curled down, but they weren't really pulling back any. They were just kind of hanging out and getting ready to set back up. And this one's going to get back onto the 50 and then start cruising again. Ripple's at 51 cents. Let's look at it. Was that taking a nice dip this weekend or was that Friday? I forget. It was either Saturday or Friday, but it did take a nice dip down to 49 cents. And like I said, you're sitting at 51 and another one just pull back, cross down. I think they're all going to just start rolling right through like that hard curl. Solana had its own its own path there. It's not even following anything. This thing's going to be nuts, I'm telling you. It's at 175. It's about to get through 180. It's rolling off and it's going to keep going. I bet we'll see almost 200 up on this pop up right here. And Cardano's at 33. And I know it was below, oh, that 20 and or 50 and 100 are meeting. And another one curled down, but I think you're going to see the fast curl up on this. And then that's going to try to move. Doge is almost at 14 and a half. And this one's gonna just, oh, it's not, it was just gonna roll right off. Doge is gonna get nutty, guys. So keep your eyes on Doge. That's about to get cruising off and really moving. And I just put in bong instead of bonk. I don't know how the hell I did that, but I just did. But let's look at bonk instead of a bong. Um, but bonk was the 50 and 100 are meeting up and it was just curled down and I'm telling you this thing's going to start curling back up and getting wild. Bonk's going to go bonkers. So keep your eye on crypto and I honestly think as we get closer to the election these things are going to fire up even more because it's almost pretty evident what's going to happen. I mean, I know you guys that listen know I've said it for 3 months and now all of a sudden it seems like all the main pollsters and everybody kind of agree that it's not even going to be close. But again, it said it 3 months ago. There was never a day that it was ever close, except for the fact that the propaganda machine of our media led you to believe that it was going to be close. It's never even been a. I'm telling you, you can't go in the most democratic areas and ask somebody. There's not one person that says that they're going to vote for. It's either they're not voting for Trump because they don't like him and they'd vote for a head of lettuce, or they're voting for Trump. I mean, it's just one or the other. You're not voting for her because you think she can do anything. If that many people know she can't run a country, you're not going to win. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised all the swing states, and he turns a couple of the blue states like a New Jersey or some of these East Coast ones. Um, they may even go red. So he may just crush this thing out of the park. I mean, look at Madison Square Garden today. It was insane. So I've just told you what the charts tell me. I don't care who anyone votes for. I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion. I don't really care. I just tell you what I see, and that's what I've seen for as since the summertime. You guys know it, and I'm completely honest with you. So you know what the charts tell me. I tell you what they tell me. So and it's pretty evident now, and I think other people are starting to see it as well. But I mean, we've seen it for months. We've known. And anyway, considering the fact that I told everyone that DJT at $13 was a perfect buy and it was going to get cruising. So look where it's at tonight. As a matter of fact, it is up like it's almost at $40, I think, right now. I just saw it on the Finviz or on the stock twits, and it was up to like 38.97 or something crazy. So here we go. Let's get cruising. We just did our crypto. And let's roll right through our meme stocks, our Mag 7, our big caps, and then I'll take any more messages. We'll figure it out. And I want to try to upload some more videos because I think I should be caught up on YouTube's caught up and let me upload some more. I just this is upload, and some of them are like 2.5 hours, so it just takes a while for these things to upload and download and this and that. But I'm gonna have all them up the whole month of October. And then, like I said, I'll even have this one up and going for it every day, and an options video, and just tons of great content coming out. And just hopefully helps everybody learn more. And then we can all trade smart and just crush this market as it's setting up. Because, like I told you, in the summer, should be getting great during Halloween, and our holidays should be amazing. And it looks like we should be on point with exactly what we were saying. So let's get cruising so we can end our Sunday night and everybody can go relax. GameStop was down 6 cents, and let's just see what these bad boys are doing. That one was pulling back. They were looking pretty good last week, and GameStop did it. Ran up what? 2066 to 2143, and then came back to 2050, and that's where it closed at. So it did pull back, and looks like it is. AMC was looking the best, and that even tried to pull back a little bit. So I think that might be a little healthy. That 20's coming underneath. I think AMC has something going on, guys, and that one looks pretty good. Not exactly sure, but let me look on mine. No, I'm just telling you what I can see. And yeah, it ran up what 436 to 451. It's at 432. Just kind of pulled back a little bit, but it's hitting that resistance right there at that 450 area. And again, 451. It's going to get set up once it gets to that 450. I think the 50 and the hard line of 450 meet up and it gets cruising. So I think you have a little bit of time, but AMC I think is looking pretty decent for whatever reason. And Chewy was down 14 cents, and that seems like it's going to come back down to the bottom. And when it does, it should set up because it looks like it's going to be bullish down the road, but for whatever reason, it is pulling back right now. So just watch her pull back, and we'll see what. Let me just check real quick. And Chewy Laptop Travel said he'd be cautious there and wait for that support at 2380. And yeah, he's right around there. I would even say like, yep, you're right there, 2370, 2380. You're right there. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. That pullback and that would be your bottom right there. So you nailed it right there, Laptop Travel. And I'll even post the chart right there so you guys can even see what we're talking about. So and there you go with that one. And let me just roll through these big caps. I'll hit all the other ones. Jennifer Lee, I just saw you posted a few other ones. We'll nail them. And boom, we'll get everything knocked out. You know that. Nvidia, let's look at it. It was up 113 and it's 141 coming back down. But I'm telling you, these things all are just so bullish that even when they want to try to cross through, they cross through and then make hard crawls up. But Nvidia is super set up, and like I said, it's the only one that doesn't have earnings or didn't. Tesla was last week, and the rest of them are all this week. So let's cruise through all of them that do have earnings. But Nvidia looks like it's about to run up into the top. And let's look at Apple because I know it looks great already. It's sitting right there. They have their earnings coming up on Halloween, which is Thursday. And I'm telling you what, it just looks great. It should pop up tomorrow and run up over to 232 and run between 232 and 237. And then honestly, just keep on popping. So it looks really good. It is trying to cross down. I think it's just trying to make room. And then it's going to make that hard curl up and get wild. So. I think Apple is getting set up to get cruising again. Just cross through the MACD, and I think you're going to get that hard curl back up. And it just needed a little more movement so it can get really fired up there. So that's AAPL. I have a feeling they're going to crush earnings. Google looks insane right now. I mean, Google looks so good, it's insane. So, Google looks like it's about to crush something. Hold on, let me type it in here if I could do that right. Yeah, it's about to cross through all kinds of momentum, staying up there. We'll obviously look at it in the morning because their earnings are Tuesday, so they have one of the earlier earnings. So Google, we're definitely looking at tomorrow, and Ken will figure out our option play, but it's looking great right now. So. At the moment, Google looks like, and the thing you just got to see if it gets through that MACD, it's going up. It's an easy one to see it. So that's Google, and it looks like it wants to. Amazon, let's see it. AMZN up $1.45, and this thing's gonna get blasting up and make that hard curl. And their earnings are on Thursday, Halloween as well, and they're gonna crush their earnings, I believe. And this thing's gonna get up to what? Right where it's at, that 189. It's at 187, and it's just gonna get fired up there. So watch for Amazon to get fired up there this week. And again, they have earnings coming up on Thursday. So let's look at our Meta because their earnings are what are they, Wednesday, I think, or are they Halloween? I forget. Yeah, Wednesday, the 30th. Um, I thought they were the day before. So Meta is the 30th, and that one was just pulling back, honestly, just trying to make some room. Zuck has something going on here, some weird looks. We're gonna bring it up tomorrow to keep an eye on it. But I'll tell you what, something up with Meta, and we already know it ran up like a maniac Meta, so I keep typing in meat. So yeah. I have a feeling Meta's going to just blast through and get curled up. It just, again, remember when I told you at 600 it needed to pull back? I wanted to see it come back to the 550s and it couldn't even do it. That bottom was 561 and it's at 573. So it wants to get moving. It wants to get back over to 20. That's on 581. And then it wants to get curled up and cruising. And that is Meta. And again, their earnings are on Wednesday. So which one? Google was first. What was I wrote? Yeah, Google was first. And let's look at Microsoft. I keep forgetting to add it to the list. Um, Microsoft earnings, they were on the Wednesday as well. Yeah, so Microsoft and Meta's earnings, two ones that start with M, they have them on Wednesday. So Microsoft also looking great, guys, and it did jump up there Friday, and it is looking really solid for the earnings. So keep an eye on that. MSFT, and clearly we'll break all of these down all week getting into the earnings. But as at the moment they close Friday, they look great. So that is our Mag 7. And I didn't even look at Tesla, but they were looking good last week. And it did. It got, whoa, got up to what, 269, almost 270 there. So remember, I told you it was going to go 240 to 260. Well, there you go. 269, guys. So there you are, and right to the top. And that was off of their earnings. So we'll nail these earnings because that call was crazy. And I plan on nailing all these bad boys this week. So there you go. And I'll even explain what I'm looking at when we're doing them. So I'll run through, and again, I'll run an options video. Maybe I'll even do one of them. It'll make it easier for you. So I can incorporate that right in. I had a little slideshow and a couple of things that I want to run through and do it. I just been trying to upload all these videos. I'm telling you, it takes forever. I'm like, how could it take so long to just upload some videos? But it does. Takes forever to do everything, but whatever, it's all good. But that's Tesla, and like I said, it's just blasting up. We'll see if it's getting into the top, but we knew it was running up, and that was a crazy call. And if we hit all these calls this week, it'll be an amazing. Like I said, Halloween will be amazing, just like I told you guys. So, and then we'll be rolling them right into Thanksgiving and the holidays, and it'll be crazy, crazy, crazy. So let's just look at the rest of these real quick. And then I know there's a few other ones on the messages that we'll run through, and then I'm going to get the rest of these videos uploaded. So here we go. Nike was pulling back. Let's just see where it wants to pull back because it is setting up super bullish. So this week it could be trying to bounce. So we're keeping our eye on that one. Good old Nike right there. And let me see. Rivian. This one's starting to move up. We said it was at the bottom, and the 20's starting to curl it up. Rivian's going to be great, and their earnings are like November 7th, so in 2 weeks, and that's starting to set up right now. Rivian, RIVN, PLTR has just been running up like crazy. Just keeps wanting to, it looks like it wants to curl through and run up higher, guys. So if you want to play a momentum play in the morning, check out PLTR because it looks like it wants to do it. Sophie's been running up like a maniac, but this one may try to pull back. It's way up there and it's not set up like PLTR is. Let's put it that way. So just be careful with that. Boeing, they're trying to sell off their aerospace their aerospace division. So that's pretty wild right there. That's how bad they are. They can't even do anything. Like literally every single product they make is just completely a disaster right now. I'm just trying to look. What the heck did they do the other day that was so bad? I can't even remember what the hell they did. But they did something. I just forget what it was. I'll have to look again or someone remembers. But they messed up something else. Oh yeah, then they like lose a satellite or something. I mean, everything they do has just been a disaster. So Boeing, let's look at it. The 20's on the I think it pulls back to be honest with you. I think Boeing's going down right now and it should. So I don't know how it was staying up before, but Boeing just looks like it wants to go down. So I wouldn't mess with it. It should go down like all their products. Snowflake, snow. This is trying to set back up, and when it makes that hard curl up, it's going to fly. Keep your eye on it because it's this week. It wants to start moving back up. So SNOW, and we rode that up. Remember, it ran up to what did it get up to? 126, and we nailed it from back down here at like 109 or 108, and now it's going to get set back up at like the 115 area and run back up there. So that's snow. Dell is looking pretty decent to try to set back up. They just had their dividends not too long ago. And yeah, this one's getting ready to curl back up and start moving off of that, which is now the resistance is going to become the support line and get cruising. So that's DELL, Dell, AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This one's going to get cruising, guys. So keep your eye on this because that one's going to be a good one very, very, very soon, I would say. I mean, maybe not tomorrow, but it's setting up to be a great one. So that's AMD, and that'll be a good one to throw on the future because it's going to be good. SPCE is just kind of pulling back there. Let's wait for it, see if it comes back to 659, and then we'll see how it looks. And for their earnings coming up on November 6th, and we'll see if it's worth playing again because I told you space worked out well for me, and it honestly sold them at the top. It's pretty well my expiration was that day, and it is basically sold it. I mean, the day before it on that Friday it ran up to what 782. And then the next day it opened at 775 and got up to 811. So I wasn't squeezing much more out of it. And my expiration was that Friday, and literally the platform sold them almost at the exact top for me. I didn't even have to do anything. I was playing with my little guy, and they just started unloading, and my phone was lighting up with all kinds of profits. So I told you that story about space. So we'll see if we can do that again. That was great. INTC. This one's going to get set up to start moving very, very soon. So we're going to keep our eye on that because there are going to be good options coming up. So I'll watch that tomorrow and see what it wants to do. Disney, remember I was telling you, let it pull back. It was crossing down. And once it gets back here to like 93 area, we'll reassess it and see if it's ready to roll because that one will run up to the 100 plus and we'll be good. SMCI is about to get cruising, guys. I think that one might be the one that is actually going to get cruising like pretty soon right now and rolling off that 2050 are looking good and it looks pretty nice. SMCI, Oxy, OXY up 23 cents, and this one's gonna get set up. Actually, these bad boys, and remember, you're gonna start drilling, and I think they're gonna start moving. To be honest with you, Exxon Mobil, XOM, building a base there, but just kind of pulling back. Let it pull back to that 50 at 117, and it'll be pretty decent. So that's looking decent. Just to pull back and getting set up. Mara was coming back, but they kind of needed to pull back. They didn't want to get in the top yet. And so just let it pull back. The 20s at like 1684. It's at 1730 and or 1713. And and just spill water all over myself. But anyway, yeah, it's at 1713, but now that crypto's rolling back up, I think that it's going to start cruising back up as well. It just needed to pull back a hair. And Riot did the same thing. I think it's just pulling back. It was in the top, so just let it make some room, and we'll know when they want to go back up. CLSK is going down. And again, just let it pull back and set back up. It's another crypto type one. So we know what's up with them. Coinbase was down 412 and then back up a little in the after hours. Again, another one. Maybe it pulls back. Their earnings are coming up. Oh, their earnings are Wednesday. Let me look at this because it looks like it wants to pull back, but now crypto's going back up. It could be cruising back up. So I'll take a look at that in the morning. CONL was the ETF. This is setting up super bullish. So maybe coin is going to be starting to roll. And they do have their earnings. And I think they're going to crush their earnings right now, especially with crypto moving. So I could expect that. DJT, like I said, is almost at like $40. It's at 38.95 and just running in the top, guys. So you $13 and boom, it's way, way up there for you. So fun. Another one, $3 we saw it at, and now it's what, over 10? Got up to 14 the other day, pulled back, and I think you're about to see it get back higher than that 14, at least touch it again. So that'll be fun. PHUN. PYPL, good old PayPal. I'm telling you, this one's trying to set up as well. Just keep an eye on it. It's hitting some resistance. Let me look at it tomorrow, but it's sitting there right there. And their earnings are this week as well. When is it? October 29th. And that what? That's Tuesday. So we're definitely looking at PayPal tomorrow to see if they're going to beat their earnings. Actually, at the moment, it looks like it wants to pull back, but I'll see how it looks when it opens up. Let me look on mine real fast. PYPL. Um, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one for sure. I'm definitely looking at that in the morning, and I'll let you know what I think because their earnings are Tuesday. And let's look at Qualcomm. That was looking decent. It was up 217. And I'm telling you what, this thing's getting set up. Their earnings are coming up November 6th, and it is setting up super bullish for them earnings, guys. So I'll tell you that right now. It is going to get bullish for them earnings. I would look for it better down here, the 160s, and rather than the 170s. But wow, it's getting bullish. MTN, that Val Resorts. Oh man, this one's getting super bullish as we get closer to winter. Holy shit. Guys, look at this thing. MTN looking great right there. You guys got to see that thing. That's looking great. Val Resorts looking nice. So that's going to move. And good old McDonald's, now that their quarter pounders are safe, it's going to start probably. It's still dipping. I bet it wants to hit that bottom. It came back under the 50. So let it hit the bottom down here, and then it'll get cruising. And go figure, they have earnings Tuesday too. Holy cow, isn't that great? So they might I mean their earnings might not be too bad. I can't tell right at the moment after that dip. But we'll look and see how it sets up tomorrow for MCD. But I mean that is quite a dip right there. So we'll look at it and see what it's up to. And good old Ford. Let's see what that's up to. Is trying to run up there Friday. It did a little bit. What 1128 got to 1133, came back down to 1102, just pulling back a hair, and their earnings are coming up on Tuesday as well. No, tomorrow, actually, October 28th. So let me take a look at Ford real fast and see what they're up to. And of course, it's like impossible to tell. It almost looks like it wants to pull back a hair. So I'm not exactly sure, but Ford looks like it wants to pull down. So maybe their earnings weren't the greatest. And again, they're actually tomorrow on the 28th. So today is the 27th. So they do have earnings tomorrow. We'll look at Ford in the morning and see what it's doing. And there you go. And let me look and see at the messages and see what I missed real quick. Real fast, let me see. Oh, Boeing had the satellite explode in space and jeopardized other satellites. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. BIOR. Hold on, BIOR. What's that one? Um, Biora Therapeutics. And this one looks like it's about to try to get rolling. It's bottom. It's a recent splitter, 1 for 10 on the 18th, and it had that bottom right there on the 24th at 338. Started moving on Friday, and yeah, on Thursday was its bottom. And I think this one's going to try to get moving, guys. BIOR. Take a look at this bad boy. I think you got a mover right there. So energy is everywhere. Sent that over, and that looks pretty nice, I must say. Let's see. ALLR. We looking at that one again? Actually, that was looking decent the other day. Um, I did remember seeing it. It recently, it popped up. Yeah, it did. It popped up on the 22nd. I just remember seeing it was popped up, but actually, it's not looking too bad right there. The 20's coming down for it at 162. And ALLR, remember this bad boy? This is one of the first ones that people hit a popper off of that were listening to me, and this was way in the basement forever. It had reverse split, but this one wasn't. I'm looking at it now. It was way in the basement for like months, but actually it's looking pretty nice. I have a feeling it gets back over that 162 and starts rolling. So keep an eye on that one. It's not looking bad right there, ALLR. So you can take a look at that, and let me just see real quick. LOVE, let's look at that one real fast. Love Sack Company, what the hell are they doing? Um, Are they providing shit to Diddy? Let's see. I mean, it's in a good spot to try to bounce. I feel like it has to pull back here to 27s and reset up LOVE. Let me see in the after hours. Yeah, I would have to see that one. I think that one might want to pull back a little bit first and then get set up. So we will definitely take a look at Love and see what it wants to do there. But yeah, and then DJT. 1175 at its bottom, we called, and bam, all the way up to almost 40 now. Sophie, Jennifer Lee, that one actually looks like it's trying to pull back a little bit. I mean, it's not pulling back, it's all the way at the top, but I have a feeling it's going to be pulling back. I'd be very careful with that one. Honestly, PLTR looks more solid to try to go up in the top higher. So between them two, I think PLTR is going to try to run up more tomorrow. And they've both been just running up. That's why I'm kind of comparing them for you. But Sophie's way up there, so you definitely have to be careful with that one. Um, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just see. Chewy, ATPC. I thought I saw another one down there. Agape. We looked at this one a long time ago. I don't really remember when it did split back in September, but it popped up there Friday. Really nice. I know we haven't looked at it in a while, I don't think, but ATPC looks like it wants to keep that momentum. And it was rolling there, guys. It what opened at 164, ran up to 214, closed at like 202. And a lot of room in its I mean ton of room there. So keep a look at that one. ATPC, I could see that one gapping up in the morning even more. ATPC, so definitely a good one, Jennifer Lee. I like that. And and that IONQ, yeah, I would definitely be cautious there because like I said, I can't even believe it's still running up there. It's way in the top. You definitely have to be careful with that. NXL, let's take a look at NXL up 14 cents. This one I would be very careful with. Nexalin. I think we looked at it before it ran up. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I look at so many, not that it matters, but it did run up Thursday and Friday. It ran up a little higher. I think that you're going to have some pullback there. It hit them resistance up there. It is in the top. It maybe it changes as it opens in the morning, tries to run up there, but at the moment, the way it closed, Jennifer Lee, it looks like it wants to kind of I mean, it was flat there. It just, it looks like it topped out to me, is what it looked like. Not saying it can't pop up a little bit more, run up to like 301 real quick in the morning, but I'm not so sure it is. You just got to be careful with that one being up there. And then IBRX, let's look at that. Didn't that run the other day? Yes, it ran Friday, Thursday, and Friday. And honestly, the way it looks up there, it could be a little momentum play in the morning. So I would keep an eye on it. And Friday, it opened at 442, got up to 748, closed at 537. You could see it try to spike up again tomorrow on IBRX. So that one could move. So yeah, keep an eye on that one as well. And boom, there you go. Let me just take a quick look, make sure we got everything. Um, PLTR, love them or hate them. This will run and burn the shorts or crash and burn hard. I know I'm telling you, I think it runs up a little bit more, but that one's scary because it's just been running up so much. I mean, when they get up there, they have to come down sooner than later. Streamline Health Solutions, STRM. Let's look at that. The Rabid Vole, 94 underneath of its what should be its support line now is its resistance, but touching that bottom and your 20s coming down at 247. Let me just take a quick look at STRM. Um, yeah, I mean off of the Finviz, it looks like it wants to take a bounce to me, and then off of mine, it really looks like it wants to take a bounce. I'll look at this in the morning. STRM, I'm gonna write it down. The Rabbit Vole and take a look at it. But it does look like it wants to start bouncing. And once it gets back up to that 213 area, it can probably get moving. So, and then that 20 will be right there. It'll jump up and your 20 will curl it and get moving. So, Might have like a little more time, but it's getting set up there, I think, for STRM. So I'll look at it for you, no problem at all. And boom, there we go. And hold on, hold on. BIOR has a 200% short interest. Energy is everywhere said. So there you go. That's pretty wild. We did look at it and it was looking decent. Let me just jump over and see what's going on Stock Twits real quick. SLXN, let's look at that one. And I'm telling you, everybody's obsessed with that GEVO. So I'll look at it again because I don't even remember what I said. We did it first. SLXN, let's look at it. Is it done? 20's at 38. It's at 30. Nah, because you know what? It never even got out of the basement. It just ran up on the 22nd. And you just needed to trade that bad boy smart that day, and you were perfectly fine. Just knowing that it would probably be pulling back and then you're just gonna wait for that next setup for it, and then it'll pop off even better. So I wouldn't say it's done yet, but I will say it needs time to set back up. And that GEVO, like I said, it looks like it wants to roll right back up there in the top. They have earnings coming up on the 7th. It's a specialty chemical company. I have no idea what they're up to, but it does look like it wants to roll up there and get cruising tomorrow. So it did. It ran up to the top on 21st and 22nd, pulled back a little bit for 2 days, and then Friday it looked like it wanted to get cruising up, and it still looks like it wants to go. So that is that GEVO, and it seems to be popular. DJT is trending, Boyle's trending, Oxy's trending, Mara and Cold are both downtrending. The Spy is down. Let's look at it. Let's see what that's doing. If it's red already for tomorrow, that wouldn't be good. Um, but it does look like it's trying to pull back a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect everything. We'll have to see, obviously, in the morning because it's definitely down a little bit. But it could be hitting that 20 right there at that 577 and just get rolled up. And again, it crawled through. I think I said this last week, I think it goes and makes them hard curls up. So I think that's what you're going to see. USO and XLE and Meta are all on there. And there you go. I think we nailed everything. And if not, we'll get it tomorrow. But yeah, we know it's popping. And of course, we'll do our pre-market show at 7 a.m. with our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns. And of course, I'll run through the scanners, see what's going on. We'll check out crypto, our Mag 7, and our big caps and see what's happening. And of course, we'll look at all the ones that have earnings because we're gonna play them right, like I played Tesla this week and now them. So again, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube page, check it out because I was uploading videos and they just continue to be uploading, and I'll be uploading some more as soon as we hop off. I'm trying to get the rest of them from October up there, and then I'll just edit this one real quick, pop it on there, and as the days go, I'll just every day upload the videos so you can listen and look at everything. So there you go with that. And boom. So yeah, I'll be back at 7 a.m. And I believe Laptop Travel said the yen looked like it will be opening up. Looks like the yen will open high on the Shanghai SSE is up there. So we'll keep our eye and hold on. Jennifer Lee just popped in another one real quick and let's look at it. VKTX, let's send it with Viking Therapeutics. Oh, that one ran up really nice. I remember we looked at this before. I don't think it was recently, but I just remember Viking Therapeutics, VKTX, and that one's run up pretty damn good. I bet it could pop up into that top right there, Jennifer Lee. I mean, it has some good momentum. It popped up Thursday 65 to 75, and then Friday 74 to 81. It's sitting at 878. I could see it getting up there. So yeah, I would take a look at it in the morning, but if that thing's, moving, it's getting in the top and it's going to be cruising there. So not another bad one. VKTX looking nice for a nice little momentum play. And Laptop Travel said they're an exceptional company, so they'll get bought out by Lilly. There you go. So yeah, they're a biotech company. I don't even know what the hell they make, but there you go with that. And again, 7 a.m. pre-market. So let me know what you just want to look at when we'll do our list and do our thing and know what's popping and just now everything. So long into obesity week and then a short afterwards on VKTX. So there you go for everything, and that was a quick message from somebody. Energy is everywhere. So there you go, and boom! I think we did now everything. I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody, but there we are. So hope everybody had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. Laptop Travel. Thanks for everything. Profit Logic, RD, Litcho something, Low Country Profits, Tommy. Oh, that's great. Tommy has the MySpace what the hell was his name? Tom, right? Yeah, that's why you have Tommy. And with a Santa hat. I mean, whenever you see the MySpace Tom dude, I mean that just brings back old school memories for everybody. I would have to say if you were a MySpace person back then. And so that's just awesome. Energy's everywhere. Sherry, Bong, Prechan. O'Hare's bastard child. Scott's been on. John Casey, Jennifer Lee, of course, always asks, sending over some great stock tickers, awesome momentum plays, and good tickers. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And again, go to my YouTube page, subscribe because there's going to be nonstop content now. So let's just get rolling. And again, we'll start trading smart and just rocking and rolling. And hold on, I'll just read the five stories because it says yen weakness on Japanese vote result. Oil tumbles. Oil slides on Mid East something, and the yen is down as Japan government loses majority. Stock futures rise with Nasdaq set to add to records as oil prices decline. Inflation, big tech earnings, crucial jobs report. What to know this week, and U.S. stocks could face scariest week yet of 2024, and here's why. So I guess it's going to be a wild one, so we'll know how it opens again. Everything will figure it out 7 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be breaking it down and we'll know what's happening. We always do. So thanks again for tuning in, and also check out the YouTube. You can go and check out a bunch of videos and see what I do. So you can just watch what I exactly do here. And have a good night, and I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. Have a good night, everybody.